It comes as a great shock to discover that Gary Cooper killing off the Indians when you were rooting for Gary Cooper, that the Indians were you.
Use a real naga, throw a feather up. Tribe up, my naga, put your bows and arrows up. The stronghold of the naga ain't they scared of us. They try to dumb a naga down, but we leveled up. Yeah. Straight from a nagas.
Africa. I remember when they were marching, people started screaming in the suburbs, back to Africa with them, back to Africa with who? Big dummy shit, I ain't never been to Africa. Don't send me home, send me to St. Louis, Missouri. 4461 Enright, top floor. I don't know what the hell I look like, standing in the jungle with a $750 mohair suit and some alligator shoes. That's not hunting garb. I'm here all the way.
House of Masculinity on Blackjack. It's Wednesday, April 12th, 2023. Hey, salute to the tribe up my noggin. Salute to all the bros and the sisters in the house. Hey, hit that like button, share the content, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. If you want to support monetarily, we got the cash out right at the top of the screen. Cash.app/$ House of Masculinity salute. Or you can go to our merchandise site, www.strictlyformynoggins.com. Go check us out. We got some dope gear over there for the brothers and the sisters. Salute. And yeah, man, today's show, we talking how the trial is about to begin for Creek Indians looking to reinstate their Muskogee citizenship. Salute. Salute to the Creek. Salute to the Noggins in the Creek Nation. The real Noggins. The real Creeks. Like the sister we got on the thumbnail right there. Let me turn the music down a little bit. Let me turn the music down just a tad bit. Yeah, on this thumbnail, we got a picture of an authentic, of a real Creek Indian, of a real Aborigine. We actually got two depictions of the real Creek Aborigine. The real Creek Aborigine, indigenous American to American. Two pictures, and by the way, that's Amber Stars. Salute to Amber Stars. Beautiful sister out there. She also goes by the name of Melanin Muscogee. Amber Stars, aka Melanin Muscogee, is an indigenous to American. She's an advocate, organizer, cultural critic, decolonial theorist, and budding abolitionist. She is an enrolled citizen of the Muskogee Creek Nation and is also Shawnee, Yuchi, Kapal, and Cherokee descent. Her passion is the intersection of indigenous American identity. Her activism seeks to normalize, affirm, and uplift the multidimensional identities of Aboriginal Nagas through discourse and advocacy around anti-Naganess, anti-blackness, anti-indigenous, abolishing blood quantum, black liberation, indigenous sovereignty. She hopes to encourage indigenous Nagas to prioritize one another and divest from compartmentalizing struggles. She ultimately believes the partnership between indigenous peoples will aid in the dismantling of the anti-blackness and settler colonialism globally. She earned a Bachelor's of Science in General Science, emphasis in biology and anthropology from the University of Oregon. Salute to the sister, the Melanin Muskogee, the real indigenous to American. If you ever saw one before, salute, Managa. And I put her on the thumbnail because she's a Muskogee. And the Muskogee Indians are the topic of tonight's conversation. We're talking how the trial is about to begin for Creek Indians looking to reinstate their Muskogee citizenship. Salute the indigenous mind. Salute to George Witch III. Salute to all my Nagas. Peace. Salute. Let's get into the conversation. Now that we done set a little foundation. Let me turn my music down just a tad bit. Matter of fact, I'm gonna pause the music for a cause. I'm gonna pause for the cause for a minute. Before we jump off into our topic, let's take a look real quick at some current news. And it goes with tonight's topic, by the way. Fair use, YouTube.
The trial is underway to decide whether descendants of former slaves of the Muskogee Nation
former
should
slaves.
be tribal members.
See, they always want, so you know they talking Nagas. They always want to say former slaves. Well, we know the French, the Spanish, and the British enslaved the American Indian, not Africans. They enslaved the American Indians in mass. They flooded the market with Indian slaves. We know this. So when they talking slaves, we still talking American Indians. We talking the real tribe when they talking slaves.
News on 6's Michaela Glenn is live at that trial with the latest for us. Michaela.
Craig and Lori, descendants of the Black Creeks, say they just
No, not the Black Creeks, the Creeks, the indigenous Creeks, the Tamaricans.
want to be recognized as citizens and receive the rights that
See,
should
the
have
hijackers done kicked. They say, you're not a citizen in our tribe, this hijacked tribe. You're not a citizen. They out there in Nakmoji. And I beg to make the argument, you don't want to be a part, you don't want to be their citizen. You're a wild Indian. You was here. You ain't had to be on their citizenship or their road.
never been taken away. The trial began with testimony from Carla Pratt, a law professor who was called as an expert witness. She says the Treaty of 1866, which addresses the status and rights of freed slaves and
Freed slaves, right? All those Indian slaves became freedmen, right? We know real history over here.
of African descent residing among the five
African
tribes
descent,
was
my ass.
wrongfully changed. Rhonda K. Grayson and Jeff Kennedy was also on the stand today, and both were questioned about their lineage and why they fight.
Question the Naga about his lineage. And the Naga is the real Muskogee. And that's why we gotta every time they come with it, we gotta point this shit out. We gotta interrupt them and point out the truth. You see, the real Muskogee. Motherfucking hijack.
So hard to be recognized as citizens of the tribe. I spoke to Ron Graham, who says he was one of the original plaintiffs for this case, and says both sides of his family were Creek freedmen.
Both sides of his family were Creek Nagas. Not no freedmen. What you freed the Indian slaves? They still Creeks. I don't care if you enslaved them and freed them and then you called them African and freedmen. They still Creeks. It was Creeks before you slaved them. It was Creeks when you found them in America.
My father is a original Aroli. I believe strongly.
Original. His father is original Tamarican. His father is original Tamarican. The original Creek Muskogee. They can't even spell it right. It's spelled Mvskoke. I spelled it the way they spelled it just for the sake of the algorithm. Let's continue.
We will get our citizenship back simply because Article 2 states
now, my naga fuck they citizenship, my naga.
I spoke to attorney Demario Solomon Simmons, who's representing the descendants, who says he feels they had a positive day in court and they're looking forward to tomorrow. Day two of the trial will begin at 10 a.m. tomorrow, live in Okmulgee. Michaela Glenn, Oklahoma Zone, News on 6.
Man, y'all, hey, this was just reported about 6 days ago. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep an eye on that. I'm gonna keep an eye on that. And I recommend all my Nagas watching here. Follow up on that yourself. And if you can, send a letter to that courthouse. Tell them how you feel about this, about the real indigenous Tamarican. You know what I'm saying? We got to start forcing the issue on these folks. I'm about to jump into another article here I want to look at. Well, this is more than the article. This is actually an essay. But this essay we're looking at now is from shareok.org. And it's actually it's an essay on this. It says this dissertation has been microfilmed exactly as received. And it's from Tolson, the author Lincoln Tolson, I guess, in 1924. And it's called The Negro in Oklahoma Territory from 1889 to 1907, a study of racial discrimination. All right, the University of Oklahoma. Now I'm bringing this up because it's relevant to what we're talking about, the Creeks. The University of Oklahoma, Graduate College. The Negro in Oklahoma Territory. Oklahoma Territory, the Indian Reservation. Yeah, we know, we understand. The Negro on the Negro Reservation. The Indian on the Indian Reservation. We get it. The Naga on the Naga Reservation. A study in racial discrimination. Oh, racial discrimination going on the reservation? Say it ain't so. A dissertation submitted to the graduate faculty in partial fulfillment of the requirement for the degree of doctor of philosophy. So it's a doctor of philosophy wrote it. This is his essay for his doctor of philosophy. Arthur Lincoln Tolson in 1966, I guess. All right, the Negro he writing about the Naga in Oklahoma in 1889 to 1907. They writing about it in 1966. It was a study in racial discrimination. Let's look at the preface. This study attempts to show. Hold on, before we get rolling, y'all. Excuse the Naga. Hold on, before we get rolling, man. What I'm doing, y'all? I'm slacking. Before we get rolling, let's get back to some smooth sound to a Naga ear while we going through this article. Salute,
You big dummy.
All right, while we going through this essay, it says here, this study attempts to show the extent of racial discrimination during the Oklahoma territorial period, which begins with the run of 1889 and ended with statehood in 1907. Undoubtedly, one of the prime reasons Negroes migrated to Oklahoma was to escape racial discrimination. What are you talking about? The Trail of Tears in the 1830s? Is that what you're talking about? The Trail of Tears? Racial discrimination? The Indian black boys, the Nagas? The opening of the Oklahoma District in 1889 paved the way for the migration of Negroes. Oh, I thought it was Indians. Okay, the Negroes is the Indians, huh? To a land where they thought an opportunity existed to enjoy those basic American rights which were denied them in most states of the American Union. From the extensive Negro migration to Oklahoma came an attempt by E.P. McCabe to establish a Negro state in Oklahoma Territory. A whole Negro state in Indian Territory that was the proposal of E.P. McCabe because of the extensive Negro migration to Indian Territory, huh? He advocated reducing white political power in the territory by importing Negro immigrants in such numbers that eventually they would outnumber the whites. The fake $5 Indians, you mean? You're talking the fake $5 Indians.
Sit your $5 ass down before I make change. You big dummy.
Yeah. In 1892, he went so far as to predict that within a few years, Congress would have 2 Negro senators from Oklahoma, Indian Territory. Another result of the extensive Negro migration was the establishment of at least 27 all-Negro towns. 27 all-Negro towns in Indian Territory. And you calling yourself an African-American, my naga? Get your mind right, my naga. Get your spirit right, my naga. Get your soul right. Respect your ancestors, my naga. Salute.
You big dummy.
Yeah, another result of the extensive Negro migration was the establishment of at least 27 all-Negro towns and 1 colony in Oklahoma and Indian territories, right? And we all know the truth. If you know the truth, it became 50 Negro towns, over 50 Negro towns in Indian territory. These towns were an outgrowth of the legal, social, and political discrimination encountered by the Negroes in the Twin Territories as well as in the South generally. When it became apparent that the all-Negro state plan would fail, Oklahoma Negroes sought to use the Republican Party as a vehicle to achieve their objectives. So the Naga said, man, we gotta get the Republicans to help us out. These Democrats,
Biatch. You big
they ain't gonna
dummy.
do shit for a Naga. This study attempts, that's what they were saying. This study attempts to show how this party exploited the Negro voters, but generally failed to promote and protest Negro interests. The rise of racial discrimination leading to the adoption of Jim Crow laws both before and after statehood is discussed. The position of Negroes, whites, Republicans, Democrats, Franks, Charlie, all these other people. Notice they talking Negroes and everybody else. So who you think the Indian is, Managa? They ain't say no fake ass Native American. They ain't say no $5 pretend they said the Nagas. And we talking Indian territory. This study closes with the report of the reactions of Negroes to Oklahoma's first Jim Crow law after statehood. You know, before Oklahoma even earned statehood, the Naga was there. In Indian territory. It was over 50 Naga towns. They're saying 27. We know it was over 50. 50 all Naga towns. They say we're gonna put two Nagas in the Senate from here. Yeah. Oklahoma Negroes fought these laws in the courts until 1914, when they concluded to obey the law was in the best interest of both races. Oh, it's only 2 races now? Oh, it's only white and black? So all the Indians just blacks now? All the real Nagas just blacks now? And the pretendians is whites? Racial discrimination extended after statehood with the adoption of the Grandfather Clause in 1910. After a series of conflicting state and federal court decisions regarding the constitutionality of the law, the United States Supreme Court ruled in 1915 that the Oklahoma Grandfather Clause was unconstitutional.
You big dummy. Biatch.
The writer acknowledges sincerely the timely and helpful advice of his advisor, Dr. A.M. Gibson, and assistance received from the staff of the Library of Congress. Okay. Let's stroll. Let's see what else he got. Table of contents. That was just a preface, y'all. That was just a preface, my nigga. We gonna dig a little more. That was just a preface, my nigga. They laying down talking about the racial discrimination in Indian territory against the Nagas. Yeah, we gonna get into this. That was just a preface. There's some more to this we're gonna get into. We're gonna now look at the table of contents and we're gonna pick through it and pick what we want to look at. You know what I'm saying, my nigga? Salute. Right here we got the table of contents up. Alright, so we just saw the preface. You got the Oklahoma District, the Negro migration. He was talking about all the Nagas that migrated to Indian territory. That's on page 9. He got racial discrimination. He got the Negro state. Oklahoma was a Negro state. Indian territory was a Negro state. 42. He got the Negro towns on 56. The political situation, Jim Crow, race relations, the aftermath, postscripts. Hey man, if you want to find this yourself and read the whole thing, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna read the whole thing to y'all tonight. But if you want to find it yourself, this is the Negro in Oklahoma territory, 1889 to 1907. You can download it for free, Monog, on PDF. All right, let's get back to it. All right, we done went through the little preface and everything. I think I want to dive into the Negro migration, maybe. What y'all say? Y'all want to dive into the Negro state? Let me know in the comment where y'all want to dive on in at. Let me know in the comment section. We're gonna do a tuck off in this. Hit me up in the chat. Let me know it yet. We got 6 niggas like. We got 6 Nagas watching. How many likes we got? You know what I'm saying? We got 6 Nagas watching. We got 5 likes. All right, we'll roll with that. We might got 1 Pretinian. We might got 1 $5 Indian up in here. He on the Dawes roll with the Creek Nation trying to keep a Naga out. We gonna roll with it. All right. I'm gonna dive on in on the Negro state. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna jump a little bit ahead on 42. Let's see what that's about. You got all kind of stuff. Estimated Negro white population following the Cheyenne Arapaho opening. Look at it. They say the Cheyenne Arapaho opening, and they estimate the Negro white population. Open your eyes, Monaga. Salute.
You big dummy.
They're estimating whites and Nagas after the Cheyenne Arapaho opening. Estimated Negro white population. Y'all wanna see what's going on here? Who's an Indian? Who's a Negro? Hey, the Negro in Oklahoma territory, right? Chapter 1. Let's go and skip on through 46. Let me scroll down the quick way. Let me do it over here the quick way. But this shit's so quick, I gotta pay attention. They go to Negro migration. They was just on. Okay. Wait a minute. I'm gonna have to scroll. Wait a minute. Matter of fact, y'all, we might have to go and start this thing on the Negro migration because I see they already talking Trail of Tears. I already see they talking Seminole Nation in the Negro migration, of course. We know who the real Seminole is. We know who the real Seminole is, right, Monaga? Who the real Shemite is, Monaga? We know who it ain't. Y'all want to start there with the migration. Let me back the bus up, Monaga. Hold on. They're talking Freedmen. Hey, they can't hide the Naga. No matter how hard they try, they can't hide the Naga. This is the type of essay make you want to read the whole thing, but it's about 100 and something pages. I ain't gonna do that to y'all tonight. And we're gonna start right here. All right, chapter 1, the Oklahoma district. We're gonna skip that. I want to get down to where he was talking to migration. I just saw it. All right, damn, y'all, I'm messing up, y'all. I ain't got my. All right, there we go. Look at that. The Freedmen's Oklahoma Migration Association. Look at that. They called it talking about the Naga. They ain't talking Africa. Hey, Twitch say I need glasses. I know Monaga. But you know what? I could blow my screen up too. I got the print so small so y'all can see the whole page. That's why I'm squinting. If I blow it up to where I really can see it, then I'm gonna have to do this here. To read the whole sentence, you feel me? See, I could blow this thing up to where y'all can really see it. That's why really, it's best for me to read it like this, Monaga. So y'all ain't distracted by me squinting. We can focus on what we really talking about. The Freedmen's Oklahoma Immigration Association sent out a circular from St. Louis during 1881 addressed to the freedmen of the United States. It declared that the federal government anticipating the necessities of the Negro, had in 1866, 1866, right after they said slavery was over, they said we free the nigglets after 1865, secured by treaties with the factor of his peoples. Secured by treaties with the what? Alright, see, they got this kind of all screwed up how I'm reading his site. See, I don't know whether I'm reading the article or what he's citing because of how they got this. This is a little essay. Alright, during his lifetime of 75 years, this virtually forgotten benefactor made at least 3 district contributions. Blah, blah, blah. I don't like how he got this thing set up, man. Oh, I see. I was reading the source. I was reading the source. Let me start back. The Freedmen's Oklahoma Immigration Association sent out a circular from St. Louis during 1881 addressed to the freedmen of the United States. It declared that the federal government, anticipating the necessities of the Negro, had in 1866 secured by treaties with the Creek, Seminole, and Chickasaw Indians a section of 14 million acres on which to locate other Indians and freedmen. Now see, they said the French, the Spanish, the British enslaved the Indians, right? We read all this history about that on other live streams. We read about the British doing it, the Spanish doing it, you know, the French doing it. But when we read this about slavery, they talking about freeing Negroes. They ain't saying nothing about freeing the red man. They talking about freeing Nagas. So who the Indians is, my Naga? Pay attention. Open your eyes, my Naga. Hey, indigenous mind. Oh, that's Papa J. Oh, man, Papa J. Twitch Sweat. That's Papa J. What's up? Salute, my Naga. That's my kinfolk. I ain't even know. Kinfolk online. Kinfolk in the chat fucking with me. Hey, indigenous mind say he from the Chi, but he out here in Central Texas. Oh, you in Seminoles? Hey, Texas is a stronghold of the Seminole, my Naga. There's a lot of Seminoles in Texas. Whether they know it or not, it's a lot of Negro Seminoles in Texas. Hey, Chickasaw Indians is a section of 14 million acres to the Naga, right? And other Indians, right? Other Indians, other Nagas, the Naga and other Nagas, the Indians and freedmen. Hey, when the Secretary of the Interior, Samuel J. Kirkwood, had his attention called to this circular, he said that the project had the appearance of a revival of the illegal Oklahoma movement of recent years under a new form. He asked the Commissioner of the General Land Office, Curtis W. Holcomb, to examine the situation and report what rights, if any, freedmen had under the Indian treaties of 1866. So what right do the Naga got under the Indian treaties of right after slavery, in slavery in 1865? You let the nigglets free, and then you make an Indian treaty of 1866 for the freedmen, huh? Yeah, salute. You big dummy. Hey, they do this double talk, my Naga, but you gotta read through it. That's why I take my time and I break this stuff down and I try to deliver it to y'all. I try to add a little humor, but I try to break it down slow. So we don't go for no third eye mind tricks. No third eye mind tricks. We always got our third eye open and we read through the bullshit. We read fine print, we read bad body print, we read good looking print, ugly print. We read all the print. So we want to know what the fuck going on. We already know, but we just shit. Right now, we just dancing in the end zone for real. Salute, my Naga. You big dummy. Yatch. Hey, it said this official answered that there are no lands in the Indian Territory open to settlement or entry by freedmen or by any other persons under any other public land laws of the United States. He pointed out that the freedmen referred to in the treaties as having land settlement and use rights in the Indian Territory, including the Oklahoma District, were the former slaves of the Indian tribes. That's a lie. Former slaves of the Indian tribes. The Indian tribes got enslaved. What is this fool talking about? What he talking about? The fake Indian tribes, the $5 pretenders that paid $5 to get on the road, that came from Eurasia, or they came from the Bering Strait, that's half Asian and half European, who in fact are part of the colonizer clique. The fake Native Americans are colonizers too. They down with the Europeans. Don't you get it, my Naga? They stole your title. That's why they always talking about they slave Nagas. You notice the fake Indians always talking about Negroes for they slave. They never say that their ancestors were slaves. But when we read history, when we read about the colonization, we see France, Spain, and Britain enslaved the Indians to the tune of 5 million. We see they can only account for, they claim 300,000 Africans. 300,000 Africans to 5 million Indians that they call nigger, that they call nigar, negro, black, color, mulatto. Man, y'all better learn real history, man. If you new here, man, by the way, I'm Black Jack. Biatch. Stronghold of the Naga, salute. And we got 9 Nagas watching. We got 9 little nigglets. We got 10 little nigglets. We got 10 little Indians watching, but we only got 6 likes. You big dummy. Biatch. So I guess we got 4 pretendians and 6 real Nagas in here. Salute to the real Nagas. If you a real Naga, hit that like. If you a $5 Indian,
Sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
go ahead and hit that dislike. You big dummy. Biatch. Let's proceed. Holds Combs' position regarding the migration of freedmen, the migration of Tamaricans, the migration of Indians, of Negroes, Nagas, colors, niggas, nigars, to the Oklahoma district was substantiated by federal judge Isaac C. Parker at the 4th Smith District Court. He maintained during 1881 that colored persons, what you mean, copper color? You mean the copper color races, my naga? He said colored persons. He talking like the copper color race. He talking about like this here, y'all. He talking copper colored races, my naga. He said the colored persons, copper colored Indians, like this right here. Like this right here, my naga. When he say copper color races, he talking this. He talking this right here, my naga. Salute. Look at all the different shades of brown, my naga, in the same family. We got on every end of the spectrum, from mulatto to negra to negress, to dark, to light, to brown, all in the same family, same tribe, my naga. Salute. So we understand when he says the colored races, the colored persons, copper colored races, the Tamaricans, who were never held as slaves in the Indian Territory. He maintained during, let's read that again for the Nagas in the back rolling up ain't hit me. You big dummy. He said he maintained during 1881 that colored persons who were never held as slaves in Indian Territory, but who may have been slaves elsewhere, are like other citizens of the United States. They just blacks now. Call them niggas, African Americans, colors, or whatever you want, anything but Indian. They have no more rights in the Indian country than other citizens of the United States. Salute. Still in your title, my naga. Biatch. Big dummy. Yeah. Notwithstanding this decision, a Negro convention met at Parsons, Kansas on April 27, 1882. The Naga said, oh, hell no. They say, notwithstanding the Naga say, man, we finna hold a motherfucking convention. They got us fucked up. For the purpose of agitating the Oklahoma district question. The group considered of 45 delegates. The group consisted of 45 delegates, led by Reverend A. Fairfax, Edward W. Dorsey, and Richard Stafford, and claimed to represent some 60,000 Nagas. Salute. 60,000 Nagas. They could have told the motherfucking reservation up if they wanted to. The principal work of the Parsons Convention was to send a memorial to Congress asking that every third section of land in the Oklahoma district be set for the occupancy of the copper-colored races, a copper-colored Aborigine, the copper-colored indigenous Tamaricans, Managa, like right here, like the melanin Muscogee. Salute. Hey, man. Hey, no matter how they dress it up, my naga, they can't hide you. They can't hide you, my naga, no matter how they dress it up. No matter how, my naga. What you want to say? You say those long, straight hair, you don't look like an Indian. Look like an Indian. What the fuck you mean by that? Do you know real history, my naga? Do you know what a real Indian look like, Monaga? Do you really know what a real Indian look like, Monaga? He said, he don't look like a real Indian to me. Do you know what a real Indian look like, Monaga? Let's make it clear for you in case you don't. Salute, Monaga, salute. You ever seen a real Indian before, Monaga?
You big dummy.
Yeah, man, we just talking to Muskogee. We driving up talking to Muskogee Indian, Monaga. Couple color races, Monaga. We just talking about you. Hit that like button. Hey, shout out to Indigenous Mind. Hey, shout out to my uncle Papa J on the house. Twitch XX wet on the house. Papa J in this bitch. Hey, shout out to Indigenous Mind. Shout out to George Witch III, man. Shout out to all Monagas that's been supporting for day one, man. You know, we're gonna rewrite history. We're gonna tell the truth. We ain't gonna let them slide this fake history on us. Think they gonna get away with it, stealing our idea, and we're gonna lay down and take it. Nah, it ain't going down like that, Monaga. It's not going down. We got too much to gain, too much to lose, Monaga. Hey man, I'm Black J. This house of masculinity. Respect my house, or we'll let the doorknob hit your ass with the most high split your ass. And we out this bitch, y'all. We out. Peace to the tribe.